What's up, guys? This is Mose, and I want to talk about the man's sexuality. Um, and the reason I want to relate this because when it comes to Kevin Samuels, he's been sexually abused. I don't know if you guys see the content or if you actually paid attention to his mannerisms. You can tell that he was abused some part in his life just by how he treats women. He's a womanizer. He's a sexist. He helps men feel vulnerable to the wrong things. And what I mean by vulnerable is that what he does is he make it okay to disrespect women. So he make men vulnerable to disrespecting women, not knowing we don't know why you acting the way you are. We don't know what you've been through or how you've been through it. The only thing that we can do as a people is attempt to heal each other. And that's the issue that we're having right now. We need to heal. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I feel sorry for Kevin Samuels because everybody putting him in the limelight. He thinks it's cool because of all the stuff that he's going through. However, it's exposing who he really is. And see, we so focused on what he's doing or how he's talking down on women, but we're not focused on he's actually acting out as if he was a kid being abused by somebody and he's asking for help. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to put it out here that it's okay to talk about your what you've been through, right? We don't talk about it because we're afraid to talk about it. Why are we afraid to talk about it? Because we don't want people to know our business. We grew up in a culture to where we was told if we tell anybody that we'll get in trouble. Even though you know your uncle Fred was a sexual abuser, your mother knew it, everybody knew it. The baby that he got is by his own sister. But Big Mama and them don't want to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about what we're going through. You know what I'm saying? We just want to continue to think that it's okay. Now, Kevin Samuels is a prime example of the man being abused. And ladies, let me just advise you. Men, let me just advise you because we don't talk about men being abused. We always talking about women rape, but we don't talk about men rape. And he was raped by a woman. You can tell. And see, the thing is, the way he's trying to get back at the person that disrespected him and raped him is by turning all women down. And you guys calling to his show, knowing what the outcome is going to be. You know how he feels towards you. So why would you put yourself in a position to where you get disrespected and then turn around and you get your feelings hurt because of how he looks at you? Well, he's not looking at you through clear lenses. He's looking at you through trauma and he's looking at you through PTSD. But we don't want to talk about that when it comes to our black men. Have our black men been sexually abused? Yes, a lot of our black men have been sexually abused. They just don't talk about it. But we can tell by your mannerisms that you have been. Why is the gay rate in our community so high? Because we don't want to talk about the abuse of the black man. And what's happening is it's become a culture that is okay with the abuse. No. We have to heal from that. Majority of the black men that is on Kevin Samuels' page has dealt with some type of abuse. To the point where they can abuse a woman, and not only that, a woman that look like them. Why do some men hate being with a woman that look like them? Because when they look at that woman, they looking at that abuse. They looking at that trauma, and they're looking at the fact that PTSD that happened. I'll give you an example. I spoke with a young man. We went out on a date, and we were just talking. And me, I'm an open book. I don't discriminate. I don't judge or anything. So we just started talking about abuse, sexual abuse. Now, mind you, he was of the African culture, and he had told me that he was sexually abused by two of his aunties. So when you see that the sexual content is high in our men, is because somebody's touching them. If they're doing stuff or they're feeling some type of way or they're afraid, ladies, pay attention to your sons. Just because you're in a relationship with a dude don't mean that he's not sexually abusing your son. Pay attention to your children. It's not girls that's just being sexually abused. It's guys too. But see, we done got to the concept to where we think it's just men. I mean, excuse me, we think it's just women. No, it's not. Men have been abused too. Kevin Samuels is a prime example of rape. But we don't want to talk about that. We keep wanting to sweep that under the rug. No, I'm not going to sweep that under the rug, because what he did was he used his platform of his abuse to elevate. Not only did he elevate, but he elevated in a demonic way, which means that he's being pulled far and far and far from our culture and from our people, to where he think that it's okay to be abused. A woman in public, because guess what? He got abused in private, so he's making it public that he was abused. Now, ladies, this is where we need to sit back and pay attention to Kevin Samuels. Don't be so quick to call in and talk about your situation. Sometimes you got to learn how to deflect from you and put it on him. Why is he acting like that? Why do he feel the way that he do? What happened to him? How did he get hurt? Because see, the women that he dealt with hurt him. His sister might have abused him. His mama might have abused him. Aunties, people that he didn't know, but somewhere that man was sexually abused. We don't want to talk about that. You want to know why? Because our man feel that that is making them be frowned upon. No, it's not. I'd rather talk to a man that tell me his truths than us to live a lie. Because, baby, you're not the only one that needs to heal. We need to heal too. And sometimes we need to heal together as a culture. You need a hug. You need to cry. You need to talk about it. We don't want to talk about the sexual abuse. But then the parents get mad when your 13-year-old daughter has this taste for men. Why is that? Because somewhere she was sexually abused. She was taught to keep it a secret. Boys are the same way. Don't you know there's been more men sexually abused in your churches, in your community leaders, than anywhere else? But we don't want to talk about that. Our holier than thou Christians. Hallelujah. Yeah, let's talk. Majority of the men have been sexually abused by somebody of leadership in your church. But we're not going to save that for another day. We're going to talk about this today. See, what you don't know is a lot of the churches that you belong to are cults. They do sexual things to men, women, children, whoever they can, to get this power, to feel a sense of being over a people. Now, mind you, your sons, you leaving them with these pastors and think that these pastors are teaching your sons, and what they're doing is they're sexualizing your sons. They having them doing things they don't even know about. And see, they don't want to tell you, because if they tell you, you lying. You know a pastor wouldn't do that. He's not that kind of person. Why he won't be that kind of person? Why? Because of the way you see him? Children don't lie. And that's what a lot of you people don't understand. A lot of you people don't say that your child don't lie to you. Now your child is in his teens or in his mid-adulthood, or she is in her mid-adulthood, and you want to wonder why she's catering to the same sex. You want to wonder why he's catering to the same sex. Because somewhere he became traumatized. And he feels that a man can satisfy his urges, which is not necessarily the man that's satisfying his urges, because he has been I can't pronounce the word, it's on the tip of my tongue, but he has been mutilated and abused to where that taste is in his mouth. So he want to be with a man. He's afraid to be with a woman because a man done already took his sexuality. He done took his manhood. He got him thinking that it's okay to be with the same sex. Guys, pay attention to what's going on around you. Kevin Samuels is really telling us who he really is in public. But you guys worrying about privacy? No. He's letting us know that he's been sexual abused. Ladies, start paying attention to your sons and your daughters. And ladies, don't ever think that a woman cannot abuse a man. Yes, they can. And that's my 2 cents. And bye.